Hello everyone, it's Mish here, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. I'm glad you did, and I hope you'll come back. And for all of you who keep coming back and leaving me comments and have become a little family, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to be working in doing the Margarete Miller Challenge. I am working in a book I got at the thrift store. This is what's going to be my journal for the year. And the prompts today are an object with jewelry or an adornment, a light source you find interesting, something stapled, something found in a garden, a receipt, and a bonus is black ink stamping. So I'm only going to be working on one side of the book, a page this week. And I'm going to start just by getting down just a bunch of receipts. I'm going to just layer those kind of as a background type thing. I'm just looking for some, that might be a little bit too crumply. Yeah, I think I won't use that one. So yeah, we'll get this all down. I often use tape runner if I can. That way there's no moisture into the page. I do use Elmer's strong old glue. And I use sometimes Fabri-Tac. It all depends. I think I will use this. I'll try to make it lay flat. I'll put a little runner across that wrinkle. The thing with doing a kind of a collage challenge when you're doing 52 different weeks in a book is it tends to get really fat if you, well, regardless of what you do really, but the more bulk that you put onto each page, the more that is going to lead to that bulk. I am also leaving about a half an inch or so of a little margin there, just so that if it all falls to pieces, I can cut the pages out and bind them into a different book. So we've got just some more little receipts that we'll get down. Just having some fun. Today is January the 9th. My father's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Dad. And this is week 2, and generally my week 2 comes out on the Sunday, or my weeks come out on the Sunday, so this would have come out just the Sunday that's gone by, but I'm a little bit late getting it started. So I anticipate this is going to go out tomorrow, either tonight or tomorrow. And then I'll be caught up, and my regular one will come out on, that's it for that one. My regular one will come out on this Sunday, and then I should be back on track with everything. My Daphne's Diary playlist will start this week as well, so my first one of the year will come out on Friday, and then subsequent ones will come out after that. So I'm just collaging down a bunch of receipts that I had. Some are actual receipts of things that I bought, and then some are just came in things like my creative studio, or just little ephemera that I had picked up along the way. So that's good for now. I do have a bunch of other receipts just in case I want to do some with some embellishing over to the side. But that is a good start on the background using a receipt. And then something found in a garden. So in my garden, sometimes I have squirrels. I live in Canada. I don't so much in where I live now have a fox, but there are foxes that tend to come into the gardens. So I thought that would be a little bit of something. And then in wintertime in Nova Scotia, we get the snowdrops. So I kind of thought that that would be lovely. So I wanted to get these down. I want to leave a little place to tuck my prompt, which I think will be behind this one. And then each week I know I can find my prompt and pull it out if I can't remember what the actual prompts were for that week. So we'll just get that down. And then I just want to cover up that Michael's a bit. So I think I'll put it about there, which is good. And then Mr. Foxy Fox, I think I'll have him maybe there because I kind of want to cover up the Dollarama. So I really didn't even need that that other one unless I put it higher, like so. But then, no, I'm going to put it right there. I don't care, but I really don't want that bit hanging. Oh well. So we'll get this one down. Chester, he's joining me here in the craft room. He's over that way. He's got a little perch where he looks out the window and talks to the birds. He does this little chattering thing with his little mouth quivers, and he makes this really lovely little chattering sound. Aren't those two images just precious? So I'm going to get this down with a little bit of Elmer's glue. And then my light source, I had so many things going on in my head. The first image that I had is an image that I've been wanting to use for a while. But I just couldn't make it work with what I wanted. I kind of wanted a winter garden, kind of like what I would have here, or at least that we would have in Nova Scotia. And the image that I had just didn't quite fit. I'm going to make that so that it's sitting a little bit on top of that image there, so it looks like it's grounded and not just kind of floating around, although it's collage, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, so my kind of theme for this week was a winter garden and things that you might find in the winter garden, like Mr. Fox with the snow and the squirrel trying to find his, well, there's a pine cone there. So then a light source I find interesting. I thought I would go with the moon. I absolutely love this little photo, or not photo, but little watercolor. So I was kind of thinking I would get that down. And the thing that is stapled is I have a little receipt thing stapled with just my little Tim Holtz tiny attacher. It's got this wee little staple, you can hardly see it. And I wanted to get that down too. And I don't really want that gap, because I don't like how that looks. So I could either do that, or I have some other receipts, so I could put another receipt down. Kind of do like a more of a layering thing like that. The thing I don't really like about that is I sometimes go around the edges with a marker, but I didn't. So I'm thinking that I'm just going to distress that a wee little bit just to, so it'll blend into the background, because everything's kind of, except for my snow drops, but I wanted to keep those white because they are very white in the winter time. In the snow you see a little bit of greenery, and then you see the little white snowdrops. So I'm thinking maybe that, and then layer that with that receipt. And see, you might not pick it up on camera, but that is quite subtle. But I don't want to hide the pine cone. So I've got this other little receipt that I could, baggage receipt, it's a baggage tag receipt, so we could use that one. But you know what, I kind of like this one better. So I'm just going to get this one down because I know that I want it underneath the moon. I'm really affected by the moon. I always know, well, I don't always remember, but I always know when it's going to be a full moon. And so do the people who know me well, because they'll say, oh my gosh, is it a full moon? And then we'll look and, oh yeah, it's a full moon. So I kind of like how that's layered like that, because I don't want to take away too much from Mr. Fox. I want him to be my focal point. So I do kind of like where that one is. And when I look back over this collage, I'll get that kind of winter garden feel, or nature in winter. Because I'm very much a nature lover. So let's just stick that about there, I guess. And then I want to get that label down there with my little receipt. And my little, I'm going to glue this one down. And this also is some black ink stamp. I'm not going to do the first one, an object with... Okay, so we cut out there, but I got my little receipt with the little staple down. And then I had this other little receipt here that I thought I might just stick there to start embellishing the collage a little bit. But this one here is a sticker. I find with these little sticker ones, when my thumbs work well, if you can kind of do a roll on the edge, then you can generally try to get that backing rolled off. But this one isn't working so well for me today. And then I'll get frustrated and I'll just try to tack it down with some glue. But the thing with putting the glue down on it is I'm always afraid that with the glue down, the sticker's going to peel off and just leave the backing glued down. Okay, so I got that down. And then I had this other kind of receipt that I wasn't sure if I wanted to add. I kind of like it up there. Kind of like there. Which would just make the top of the page. And kind of do that kind of thing. Oh, I do like that. So let me see if I can get this one. The thing with this one is you need the edge, it's the same as that one I just did. There's a little tiny bit of an edge there, and it's not going to work to roll it if there's that little edge. But I almost had it right there. This is the worst thing to watch somebody try and peel the back off a sticker. It's a nice sunny day today. Although I don't mind rain. I don't really like a lot of snow because I gotta shovel it. Excuse me if my head gets in the way. I'm thinking maybe there. Okay, and then I just want to put another little bit of glue there. Tack down my snowdrop. Okay, so we got that. Now I need a little something here, but I am going to do some black ink stamping. So I can always fix that up there. And I have another mini receipt there that I could kind of stick there. I want something, oh, I know. So I also kind of thought, well, what else could be in the winter garden? So I found some little items from one of the DigiKits, and I think it was from My Porch Prince. So I'm kind of thinking I can put like some leaves. I've got that for leaves. And I have that so we can kind of frame Mr. Fox a bit. Let's see. I kind of like how this went better this way. Maybe we could put that up there. No, it's too big. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I could cut the stem off that. But the thing is, if I get it too far over, well, it's not really cutting into the moon scene. And then I put this one down below. Does that look right? I'm not sure. I'll leave that for just a second. And then I thought I would put like some pine cones. Here's a little acorn, maybe down in this corner. Maybe do a little cluster. You could do like a little cluster up there. Let's see how that goes. Nah, I'm not sure if I even want that. Possibly this one. This has a longer stem if I could get my thumbs working. And then maybe do like a little thing like that. With that up top there. I do like that. So we'll get that down. Right there. Get that up the corner, and then it kind of frames that a bit, and it's not like the whiteness is making that kind of go off into infinity. To infinity and beyond. Mr. Buzz. I do like DigiKits. It took me a while to get into them because of course you got to print them, but I got some free printing each month from the library. Everybody does in Nova Scotia. And I'm wondering if that's a little bit too heavy for the bottom there. It's kind of making like a lot there and then not a lot there. However, I could do another little pine cone up top there. Like just to, or even this little baby one. No, it just doesn't look good. So we could do that maybe. And then I can do some stamping here. Let's see. So we'll just hold off on that for a minute. And then I wanted to do some stamping as well. So I've got my little ink pad here, which I've been using for a million years. And I have this stamp I got at, oh, that's cute. I don't know how well this is going to work because of the uneven edges, but I kind of thought I'd put a stamp there. And then I just use a little bit of a wet wipe to clean it. And then I kind of want to keep in mind that sometimes we just have to have faith. Faith that you're going in the right direction. Faith that things are all going to work out. And so I kind of thought to be reminded of just to have a little bit of faith. And I have a little flower here that I kind of thought I would put over here on that little guy. And no, we probably wouldn't have this flower blooming in the winter garden, but in the garden of my mind, it's blooming in winter. And then I found this little swirl. I wasn't sure if I wanted a little swirl or not, but I got it. And maybe one at the top, because then maybe it would act as a, I think that might. So then the other one that I picked up is I have this one, I don't know where I got it, online I think. And I kind of thought I'd take a chance at doing, I'm going to move this over to here, of doing just a bit on the edge. So I'm only going to ink up kind of the edge of this. I don't even have this on a stamping block, just to give a little bit of extra something like there, and maybe down in this corner, but I don't want to get it on the margin. as such. And there's a little, and then I can put that over there, and then I want a little something there. Do I dare? What if I try, I have another one that came with this set. Let's see what this looks like. So that one's a little bit lighter. So I'm thinking if I just want a little bit right there. Am I going to be able to manage it? Let me see. Without ruining everything. Because I don't want it on there. I just want a bit right there. Like so. Ah, I like that. Okay, well let's regroup here and see if we've got enough. We still have our 2 leaves. So now that I've got some stamping in, I am quite happy to do that. Like so. Or what I could also do is I could take, instead of having this great big bunch, I could cut those out. Because sometimes if it just doesn't, it doesn't seem like what you have is what you need, you can always manipulate. Always manipulate it. I've been watching The Sound of Music. Oh, I do like that, I think. Did you guys like it? What if I cut? What if I cut off that beige leaf there? The thing with cutting it off with collage is you could actually just glue it back in place. If you decide, oh there, I think I like that the best because it's just a little bit of pop of color at the top. So I do like that. And that also gives me another little bunch. And I don't care if it goes into my little margin of it, because if I did have to bind it into a book, I could just bind through that, no problem. All right. I'm hoping to start some other little projects this month. I want to get into doing another junk journal, kind of with a, I don't know, like maybe a Victorian kind of theme. I started one last year, but cause see, then I got that little bunch, which I could put there. Oh, I do like that because that there's a little bit of that stamping, which I could take a black marker and fix up. But if I put that in there, then it would kind of be like it was meant to be. Like so. What do you think? I don't know why I'm so indecisive today. I think this is, I've been in the craft room all day, just trying to find images, and it's now almost 4 o'clock. Starting to get hungry. I did my Daphne's Diary this morning, and I watched Jane Eyre. And it's the Jane Eyre of the I think it's 1984 BBC with Timothy Dalton. It's my it's a mini series, and it's my favorite one of all. He really is Rochester. And then, so that was like, gosh, what, 6 hours maybe? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. And then I was just in the middle of watching The Sound of Music again for literally probably the 50th time. I do like that. And it's all about collage too, right? So just sticking things down and having fun with it. It doesn't need to be stressful. It doesn't need to I don't need to make as much out of it as I seem to be doing today. So I think I like these down in the corner. I don't dislike them. And I definitely know that it needs a little something something down there. So I'm thinking that that would look good. And then Mr. Fox, oh, he's just looking so... What kind of expression do you think he's got on his face? Is he saying, oh, is he like sad? Or is he like saying, oh, not again, really? So I think that's it for today. I just found that little acorn sitting, or the pine cone. Kind of thought that might look good there, or I think it would look good kind of sitting there, like part of that little cluster. Or possibly down here with that little, or like sitting there as part. Sometimes it's nice to have 3 in a cluster. No, I'm happy with that. So I didn't use the jewelry or adornment, an object with jewelry adornment. A light source I find interesting, well, of course, is the moon. It's not technically a light source. It's illuminated by the sun, but we won't get technical. Something stapled, something found in the garden, receipts, and some stamping. And I knew that after I did that, I knew that I probably had done that. I covered in some of my little hidden pocket. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Sorry I faffed around a bit today, but maybe you did find a little bit of inspiration in some objects that you can find or use. And I hope you do have a healthy and happy week, and bye for now.